This is Logistical Rick. I'm here with the Ablagator. Today we're going to be discussing and breaking down Call of Duty's beta that just dropped, Xdefiant's beta that dropped before, both games right on the horizon, and we're very interested in how the competitive field is going to be looking for both these games and which one we think is going to be better 6 months from now, a year from now, which one you're going to want to play. So to start things off, lob one to him is, what do you think of the new really update that is this Call of Duty beta?
I think it's a lot of quality of life changes. Like you said, it's an update more than a new release. Even though we get all those new maps, all the old maps back, it still feels like you're playing MW2 a little, but I mean, red dots back on the mini-map, community asked for that. Quiet footsteps, you can actually move around the map, and for players that like to play aggressive, that's how you really get them into their play styles and encourages faster gameplay with the slide cancel. And but reskin is a good word to use with all the guns coming back from the old game, your skins, your operators. Didn't feel as fresh as a new Call of Duty should have, but still felt a lot better.
When we compare that to Xdefiant, I personally really like the way it feels. Not very much recoil. Like, it's not the same as Call of Duty. It doesn't really feel the same. But I like the fact that there's no prone. I think that that's obviously going to eliminate a lot of camping and kind of cruddy spots. But yeah, I think I like the overall feel of Xdefiant's gameplay, the way the guns function. Not a terrible amount of guns, so there's going to be some things that people don't like when it comes to customization with attachments, but just the way the game feels and functions when it comes to footsteps and movement. I think overall, I'm excited for that aspect of Xdefiant.
Which could hurt it as well, with the graphics being different. If you played the beta, you know just the guns. It's when Battlefield and Call of Duty used to come out in the same year. It's like they just felt different, which I think a lot of people might be a little refreshing. But for casuals, they like to just hop in and know that gun's gonna go where it's supposed to go, or they know that feeling already, which I think could hurt especially getting players to the competitive side of the game.
So this Call of Duty really is going to be made or broken by these new maps coming, old maps from 2011 that we actually played, you know, when we were really young. We actually got to play, old heads. We actually got to play all those maps. So our memories faded in those years, but I'm curious, what do you think when you speculate, how is Afghan going to play? Do you think that those old maps are going to be good in competitive play?
I just saw it actually, now that I remember, an argument online. Since it's all nostalgia, there's no breathing room. Like, they didn't build these maps for competitive back then. But what the argument was Cold War, obviously a game that is becoming more of a classic. At the time, people didn't love it. But they revived that game, bringing in Raid, bringing in Standoff, all these old maps. And they were the best maps to play. So I think if they get the spawns right, spawns is the number one thing in competitive for their respawn game modes. And it's an older game, those are older maps. And like I just mentioned, they didn't make them for competitive itself. So I think, but I think there are some maps with a lot of potential. Terminal, Skid Row. I know they say that's like the best hardpoint competitive game back in the old days when they used to play. Best competitive map of all time, Terminal. There are some maps that could definitely be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the question. Are we gonna actually get something that's a good product with these old maps? Because we're all excited for them. It might not work. We'll see.
Yeah, no, for sure. I guess for the people clicking on the video for the Xdefiant side of things, obviously Ultimates. The last COD we saw with Ultimates was BO4. How do you think those are going to impact the game, the abilities, the Ultimates?
My excitement for it is that I'm not that good at Call of Duty. You know, hopefully go watch some of our old videos. And there's more people like me than these guys sitting around 2 and 2.5 KDs. I'm excited that I think Xdefiant is giving shooters, of someone that likes first-person shooters, a chance to actually get good at a game. Because Call of Duty can become so one-dimensional that adding these other dimensions. If I don't excel at point and shoot Call of Duty, if I'm more cerebral, I can go, okay, how do I use this ultimate? How can I use this invisibility ability? How can I use these drones? All these different things that Call of Duty has in their game, right? Last year in MW2 or whatever, I get confused with how they even release these games. In the last one, they had that smoke recon drone that was super cool. You could imagine doing a hard point or trying to get the last few seconds on a control point and using that smoke drone, but they didn't put it in competitive, right? They take so much of these different abilities out of their competitive play. Xdefiant's building all of it for competitive, and there's all these abilities, all these ultimates, and for players like me, we can go, okay, how can I use these to my advantage to actually put myself higher up with the good players like this fine gentleman beside me? And in the games that I was playing, and you can go check, I'll show you guys one day on stream, I've got like 1-2 KD in Call of Duty, but in our Xdefiant gameplay, I was actually doing pretty well. I was rising up the leaderboard, not because I was fragging out or slaying, but because I was doing things that actually were helping us win, whether it be shields on points or you know, proper ultimate usage. So for me, it adds another dimension in the game. And to make one other quick point, I would say that it adds a communication thing. We all love to play with our friends. I think with Xdefiant, it's giving you a chance to say, hey, when do you want me to pop this ultimate? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Hey, use your invisibility now, and I'm going to push left and create cover fire so you can sneak by them going invisible. It's going to add layers if you want to as a team to actually push deeper into communication. So that's super exciting, I think, for people that want to communicate with their teammates and feel more involved in the mission to win that game, opposed to how many kills did I get? What was my KD? There's so much more that you can try to do for your team in Xdefiant, and that's all about the abilities and ultimates. So I like it.
Definitely be interesting. I guess just one thing I want to touch on as we went through the maps, the nostalgia maps, you can also bring it back to Xdefiant with this question with the new game modes, the new maps, the very vertical maps, which will be very interesting, new game modes.
That leads us to how we'll kind of finish our thoughts here. You're speculating if the game, are you going to grind? If the game is good, where do you think this goes? Where do you see these games?
Yeah, it's tough to say because Call of Duty, I mentioned Cold War, it just made sense. If Xdefiant makes sense, and I'm talking about timings on the map because the spawns are right, the way the game flows, they're obviously very committed to this ranked play thing. And you look at all the greatest games out right now, or all the ones that have stood the test of time. You got Rainbow Six Siege, Apex, CSGO, Valorant. They're all competitive games. That's the only reason. Overwatch, they were all huge for one title because of the competitive side of it. So if they take the right steps in Call of Duty, if they just throw in that ranked play we got from last year and just pace it on with some bad spawns on some maybe good maps, and the nostalgia runs out after 2 months of playing it, might not stand up. Where I think if they take the right steps, the team at Ubisoft, they deliver us a game, I think it could have a good kick-ass start. Especially when No Phil's putting it on the map and stuff, that should be pretty fun.
All love, respect Infinity Ward, Activision, but also I hope you guys lose this battle. I'm rooting for Xdefiant big time. No, I actually do respect Call of Duty. Coming out with Warzone was a big thing to switch it up, but they get stagnant, and when companies start to succeed, they become stagnant. So
give me the money.
I don't know. I want to see Call of Duty keep trying to get better, and I hope
big steps taken.
I hope that
Xdefiant by Call of Duty.
Yeah, I hope that Xdefiant does well and it pushes Activision to continue to try to be better. I'm going to be putting a lot of eggs in the basket. Xdefiant, I think it's going to be good. I do. And I hope that people watching, I hope that I hope you guys give it a real good shot, because I think that there's a chance for you to really have a lot of fun and try to actually get better at the game, a new game, putting a fresh spin on first-person shooters. So I'm jacked up. I hope you guys are too. And we'll see you whenever the game drops. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll run into you in the
Hopefully
lobby.
soon. Yeah, here at No Phil, we'll be covering everything.
Yes.
So you and you and you, make sure you guys stick around if you like what you saw here, the personalities. We got 10 other guys that are gonna be inside this building of ours, creating all types of content around Call of Duty.
Tactical gameplays.
Tacticals, rundowns of how games are doing, the metas in the game, all types of stuff, just fun gameplays, good streams. And if you like what you see, don't be scared to hit that sub button, give us a like. We're obviously trying to climb a mountain right now, and every step helps us out. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm the Ablagator.
Logistical.
See you guys in the next one.